Okay, so Ryan Gosling's directorial debut. Um, I enjoyed it a lot more than Only God Forgives, which was a travesty. I know obviously he didn't direct that, but he was in it, and Nicholas Winding Refn seriously needs to get behind his creativity again, like he did with Drive, because it was just terrible. Um, but so we have this movie. It's highly stylish, and it looks great. I love the score. I think the score's great. I like the actors in it. I mean, I think he does sort of utilize people he's worked with, like Ben Middleton and Christina Hendricks, stuff like that. The only thing that I thought was kind of not as much as you were expecting was Matt Smith. It seemed like his part was edited out because he doesn't really have much of a part in this movie. Even from the trailer, there's a bit where he's saying, "Look at my muscles, look at my muscles, look at my muscles," and that's not even in the film, and that felt a little bit strange. Like that's a different cut of the film, but we're not going to see that ever now because he's cut it out. And the character is loathsome and horrible, but Matt Smith does play him very well. It's a shame that there's some stuff that was cut out because it's about maybe like 5 minutes, maybe a little bit more 5 minutes of screen time he gets throughout the whole movie. And there's some strands of the movie where he's not around, for quite some time, and I think that could have been better. Um, I think the newcomer, that guy called Ian or something, what his name is, got a weird name. I thought he was good. He looks kind of like a Ryan Gosling, which is kind of freaky, like a young Ryan Gosling, like in his 20s or late teens or something. Um, I like the idea of it. I like the way it's sort of surreal, and you see all these surreal images, and that was really cool. And then obviously he said about Detroit's like that because Detroit is kind of like it's not all there anymore. There are things that are just abandoned. But like they say, like in Toronto, there are complete like fields and football football fields and airports. They're all just abandoned, which obviously works so well for warm bodies. Um, but there isn't really much for story, which I think stops it from being a great film. But it's still enjoyable, and there's good acting between all the actors and everything. They seem like they're having fun, and it does sort of go somewhere, even though there's not a massive thing of plot. I do like the visual side of it, and he's definitely got a creative eye. He definitely knows what he's doing because he obviously you can see all the images and stuff, and take it all in, and it's rather wonderful. And also the music, I have to say, is wonderful. I don't know who did the music, but it's just amazing music. I won't be surprised if it's the guy who did the music for Drive. I just haven't really looked that up yet, but no, I'll find out soon. Um, so in his first film, I think he's done it quite well. I think there are things he could improve on, like the story, for example. Um, and it's only about an hour and a half long. So, he does do well with that hour and a half. It's just I think there could have been more in there, like there could have been a better story, um, and stuff like that. And he cut Matt Smith out, which I don't really understand. I find that a bit like, it is odd. It's really odd. Um, So overall, I enjoyed it a lot more than Only God Forgives because that was an absolute travesty. I hope the next one he makes is different. I mean, you can't sort of do the same thing again and expect to get the same applause. Like with Drive, that was such a great film, and then Nicholas Winding Refn kind of went, "Oh, well, I'll just do it all again, stylize it to the point of death," and it kind of was to the point of death because it was a terrible film. Um, because Only God Forgives was just was just no good. And I hope from this he doesn't do that and make it more and more stylized, and then make it into a crap, boring, nonsensical film. Um, so there are things, a lot of things to like about this movie. Obviously, there's some things that could have been done better, like Matt Smith and other things. Um, but yeah, I still had a good time, and it's a lot of fun to look at, and the score's wonderful. But yeah, so it's not bad. So I'd say 6.5.